Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the Who Even Asked podcast. On today's episode, we spent some time answering some questions that we may have made up ourselves. We go into recovery, different types of recovery and different types of recovery modalities, what we think is most important there. We talk about training around injuries, how to manage that, what to do, what not to do. It kind of varies. We also talk about training motivation, how we ourselves stay motivated to train, different strategies we've used in the past to keep ourselves in the gym and keep ourselves turning up to our own training sessions. And then our camera cuts off, which I think Bailey the Wizard will work out how to wrap some of the other camera angles we have and some of the audio we have into hopefully something that sounds and looks okay towards the end. So we're hoping you can work that part out. All right, life updates, guys. Corey, you can start. Or should we get Mads to start?
Mads can start.
You can start, Mads.
Can start. I life updates. Well, I've been trying to diet. So.
Oh. When you said that before we started, I thought you were saying die. And I'm like, that's going to be I thought that's
But you weren't worried when I said I've been trying to diet. You didn't even blink.
No, because I was like, oh yeah, she's having a moment sort of thing.
And then we just went along with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot more sense.
No, I've been trying to diet.
Okay.
Diet,
yeah. No, don't want to jump off any bridges.
Yeah.
And it's really hard.
And Sacha went along with it. That's why I was like, oh,
No, I heard her correctly. I heard diet.
oh right, okay. Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that's a good life update.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Okay, we're going real dark this podcast, are we? I'll get out some dark content as well.
No.
What are you struggling with?
Like just trying to eat less. So I'm like doing it quite like aggressively from like my maintenance is probably like 1,900 to 2,000.
Yep.
But I'll usually eat probably over that. And now I'm at like 1,500 to 1,600 as a range. I'm not doing exact. And it's just like really difficult.
What part? The mental, the physical?
Yeah, I'm just like hungry.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of the time I eat out of, not that I'm bored, but like if I'm sitting at my computer,
Something to do.
I just want to have a snack on the side.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day because I'm the opposite. When I'm like, I've had a couple of assignments recently that I sort of procrastinate a lot and then I'll just cram. But when I'm in that cram zone, like once I've opened it up, and I'm going, then like I don't want a single distraction. My eyes don't leave the screen. Like I'm not thinking of food, and then it goes like 5 or 6 hours, and I'm like,
if I'm going into like a 5-hour work stint on the laptop or something, I'm like, cool.
So
how many snacks can I get to get me through this?
So are you getting that? Are you getting the snack set up prior to sitting down and going? Yeah, that's what I need to do. Unless that's a bad thing. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it depends what you're snacking on.
Yeah.
For me, it's not that great.
Celery sticks? Fine.
Fine. Absolutely, I don't want to snack on that. No.
Cheapies?
I find celery quite refreshing. Do you like celery?
I like celery. I do.
How do you eat it? Because it just gets so stringy.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. I like the crunch and the texture that comes from celery, other than the fibrous nature of like...
You'd have to like chop it up into like little like snack bits and then it won't get as stringy.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of like restart every week because I go over on the weekends. And so since Monday, I've nailed it.
So what's your average been across a week then if you're going over on the weekends? Like are you figuring
Surely
out what you actually end up
than
at?
your maintenance.
No, I actually haven't figured that out. No. But if I had to guess, I'd probably say about 21.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm actually just going to try and do it for this whole week and this weekend to see if my weight fluctuates because I'm not actually sure if I've gotten to a point where my body is just like adapted to like calories and I need to do something drastic because my weight is just not moving at all.
All right.
Yeah.
And I've like increased cardio a lot more than what I used to do. So I feel like I should be dropping quicker than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely not moving at all.
But you know what I think one of the things that like you might not think about is that like you maintain a fairly like level like leanness anyway.
See,
like,
I don't think I'm lean at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't look at you and go like, you've got 4 kilos that you need to lose. You know what I mean? Like, no, but like I think like us as coaches are more critical of ourselves than actually the reality of where we are.
Yeah.
I think like if I'm a little bit pudgy or holding a little bit extra weight in my midsection, I'm hyper aware of it. And then like our expectation of dieting is that like the change happens at a certain rate, but we're forgetting the fact that like we're already on the lean end of people anyway. So like the changes that happen from
For us.
the start point for us
Yeah.
is already pretty lean.
Yeah,
And then, you know, like to get a change to happen is actually not the same sort of expectation we set up when we talk to our clients about it that have a livable body fat percentage
Yeah.
to lose, right?
Also, like, I think of myself lean and I think comp lean.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
obviously that's not healthy. I can't get to that point.
No.
But I like strive to almost get to like a few weeks before then. But that's probably also not realistic.
Yeah, that's always a struggle, I think, mentally. Like psychologically, when you've pushed yourself to an extreme in the past, and then you compare yourself to that version, even though certain versions of yourself are not really something that you can strive for to be all year round. Particularly. Like,
I think this gets talked about a lot because the Instagram celebrities or Instagram fitness influencers will get comp lean or very close to it.
Yeah.
And do a photo shoot that and then ends up spanning the year of their posts.
Yeah, literally.
So the perception is that they look like that all year round, but they probably don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the same for
social
like,
media is like my worst thing as well. I compare
movie
myself to
stars and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like you see, you know, what is it?
Yeah,
Like
but then half the time they're stabbing themselves with like Ozempic or something.
oh,
That's definitely a new thing that's happening.
You know, they've probably got doctors that are probably like even giving them stuff that we don't even know about.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Proper rich doctors. you know?
Some compound pharmacy going on.
Yeah. Your life updates, actually.
What did I say? I forgot.
Oh, your app?
Oh yeah, yep. This is why I need it open right now. I'm the master of forgetting small things and not being able to fit stuff into my schedule. So one of our clients that has ADHD recommended an app called Motion, which is a calendar and to-do list app that like you block out what you have in the day, like and pretty consistently at what times during the week you'd have those things. Like for example, like when I'm coaching or when I have like class or stuff like that. Yeah. And then it finds spaces in your schedule for other tasks that you add to it, and you can set up different levels of priority. So you can say, oh, that's a high priority, get that done first, put that task in. And then if you don't do it, like if you don't tick it off as done, it just refines another time for you to move stuff around based on your priority order. And I've only started using it. I think there's like a 1 week trial, and I'm enjoying it so far.
You have to pay for it after?
Yeah, it does cost money.
What is it?
Apps don't cost
What
now.
the cost?
Yeah, what is it?
I think I think if you pay a monthly subscription for it, it's pretty expensive. I think it's on $35, $40 a month. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So it's pricey. I don't know and that's always the thing that I do in my head to justify whether or not I need it, want it. If there's a way to do it without using this particular app, maybe. Because now I've put a lot of stuff into my calendar as like permanently there. Yeah.
Can you get student discount on stuff with your course or no?
Don't think so. I don't think so. Unless, you know, like I could use it and then don't check.
Well, they usually just make you put in the institution that you work,
Yeah.
and if it's on the list, then it's
It's on the
fine.
list, yeah.
But then you don't have an email associated with your course.
No.
Yeah, that's probably
That's
where they
probably
get
where
it. Yeah, that's all they usually check.
Yeah. That's my life update. It's working so far, I think. Laurie's probably sick of hearing about it because I tend to get hyper-focused on certain things and just talk about them
Which is why
endlessly.
you need the app, right?
Yep.
Because
That's why I
you
need
got
that, so I
to
can-
not hyper-focus on things to remember other things.
Everything else, yeah.
You set like a thing in there. Don't talk to Laurie about this app.
Yep. It just reminds
It
me
just
every
keeps
night.
moving it because she keeps doing it.
I never took it off.
That's tomorrow. Try again tomorrow.
Take 10.
But yeah, no, it's working well. What's your
nice.
life update, Corey?
I don't have many. I've just been really boring because I'm struggling with. Well, it was my birthday last week actually, but I ended up doing an assignment most of that day. So I worked the morning and then I did an assignment, and that's basically the gist of my life at the moment is just struggling to find time for anything fun. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that'll end pretty soon. But just work, then study, then sleep, and then
Then repeat.
try and get some training in there as well. I always struggle. Do you guys struggle to train this time of year? Like, I feel like...
Yeah, I've got to block out the time to do it. And you know what I set up this week, and it's worked really well this week? I set up a reward system.
A little
Right?
clicker?
Chicken skewer.
No, not a clicker. Chicken skewer. People aren't going to get the chicken skewer joke.
It's got like a little string hanging in front of him, so he's running on a treadmill.
Buy the chicken skewer and then, yeah, no. No, my Rockaby smoothies.
Pretty much a chicken.
So if I train, I'm allowed to have a Rockaby smoothie. If I don't train,
What's
I'm
a
allowed to have
Rockaby
one that
smoothie?
day.
Nice.
Is it the milk ones?
It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you really call that a smoothie? That's just...
No,
Yeah, it's a
that's
protein smoothie.
it's
It's got
milk.
30 grams of protein
It's
in
a
it.
flavoured
What
milk.
makes it a smoothie, though?
Rockaby, if you're watching this and you want to sponsor us,
We-
I drink a lot of your smoothies and I would love to get a
ATP
sponsorship.
are going to watch this from last week.
Yeah, no,
and they're gonna be
different.
like, well,
They don't have any.
These
They don't
guys
have
are
any
slotting
ready to
themselves out.
They don't have any ready to drink things. That's on them. I want
Any more
different
variety.
category.
I'm not understanding what makes that a smoothie, because I feel like a smoothie, the
I don't think-
definition is it has to go through a blender.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's a smoothie. I think it's just
flavoured
protein
milk.
milk. Yeah, yeah. But these protein, I think they're close to like chocolate milk, sort of like a Big M. They're pretty close. When the chocolate one tastes pretty close to a Big
How
M.
is that a reward when you used to use it in the mornings with your coffee if we didn't have normal milk?
Yeah, because now I don't. Now I'm using it just as a reward.
Yeah.
Now I'm not allowed to have it unless I train. Like today I had one because I trained.
Nice.
Mind you, it was
Nice.
my least favourite flavour, but they didn't have any flavours left. So
Yeah, that's their problem,
Did you feel
mate.
like super satisfied when you drank it?
you know what the downside is, like for those smoothies, is like you finish it and you're like, I want more. They're not big enough. They're not quite big enough to be satisfying. I feel like a 500 ml would be ideal, but I probably couldn't stomach it. Yeah.
You never know.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways,
let's
moving
stop
on.
being the main character. And let's pick. Wait, flip the hat the other way. I want the audience to be able to see. Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a hat with questions in it from our audience.
All right.
They're not. We made these
Hey,
questions
you know
ourselves.
what?
People are going to know that
He
we
could
made
have
them
just
ourselves.
gone. No.
Yeah,
How will
they are.
they know? How will they know?
How are they?
Anyways,
All right.
Question.
I'm picking one out,
Yeah.
am I?
You're picking one out. Maybe let's do one each.
yeah.
All right. What does your ideal recovery look like?
Oh, good one.
Great question.
Thanks. Whoever
Thanks,
sent that in.
audience,
Thanks
for that one.
Jerry J from Hampton Park for that question.
Yeah, let's talk recovery. There's lots of things that you can do for recovery, but only one of them really matters, Corey. What is it?
That is sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what matters the most. And if
Yeah.
you're getting that wrong, doesn't matter what else you do.
Yeah.
You're-
Everything else is a marginal improvement on
Yeah.
like the big chunk of recovery that you're getting if you have a good sleep schedule, if you get enough hours of sleep, and then nutrition's probably the next biggest one, right?
Yeah. Those are the big two. I think the problem with, well, nutrition is important,
Yeah.
but I think for the most part,
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep should you get?
Ooh, good follow-up question there, Mads.
Well-
You should be in the audience.
I think from not being an expert, but having listened to experts talk about sleep,
Yeah.
I think particularly, do you remember the guy's name? He had like
Matt Walker.
Matt Walker,
Yeah.
really,
Why We Sleep. Good book if you want to read something
haven't read the
really
book.
dry.
Oh.
It's
really dry, is it?
Yeah, well, if you were to, I think a lot of those health-related books, like, they're good for someone like me or you, because, like, you know, we're, like, as a group, of like, trainers tend to be more interested in health, obviously,
Yeah,
that's why we're
obviously,
trainers.
yeah.
So, you know, they're engaging for us, but even for me, like, something like that was, like, yeah, it was, I don't know, it was a little dry.
Yeah.
I got through it, but it was dry.
There's actually a lot of, well, I haven't read the book, so tell me if it's different to the book, but from when I listen to him speak in podcasts,
Yep.
it's actually quite scary, like what health effects there are
Yeah.
for not getting enough sleep,
yeah,
right?
yep.
And I think what he sort of says the cutoff is like 6 hours and less is really,
Yeah.
really, really, really bad, right?
Yeah.
And 6, the older you get is sort of more acceptable, but particularly when you're younger, like 6 is not even really enough. I
No.
think ideally.
You're getting closer to 8.
Yeah.
The closer to 8 you can get, the better. And in saying that, like I was actually looking at it last night. What was I chatting to last night about? Yeah, cousin Daniel. Yeah. My average for the year this year so far has been 6 hours and like 12 minutes on average.
Does it tell you the average?
For the year? Yeah. Yeah. And I tracked my sleep almost like, I reckon this year I've missed maybe like 2 or 3 days of like not tracking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't get enough. And I know why, but it's like around creating patterns around what I need to do to get to sleep. And yeah, it's hard. I wouldn't say for a lot of people it's an easy thing to do, but if the answer like to how much sleep you actually need, it's a lot.
Yeah. And like do you remember like the main reasons why not enough sleep? Do you remember like the main disease and
like it increases your the rate of occurrence for like diseases like dementia.
Yeah,
Alzheimer's.
That's what I was gonna say.
And like I reckon as far as things that I could get when I'm older, that's what I'm probably most scared of. What are you guys like? What are you most scared of getting when you get older? Because you die from something, right? But like
yeah.
What don't you want to get between, let's just say 70 and when you die?
I think
I reckon for me it's dementia.
I think the biggest fear I have is around like losing brain function, right? Significant
cognitive
brain
function, yeah.
Because that is who you are as a person, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that would be pretty tough.
I don't think I've thought about it in that depth. I just think like there's like 1 in 2 that get cancer now, so I'm just like
yeah. But look, I think like we're getting better and better at early detection of a lot of cancers,
Yeah.
and
but some are just like
there
incurable.
there are some that are
So
incurable.
that like scares me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that all we need to cover on that? Let's talk about the other types of recovery as well that there are out there, because I think lots of people...
Again, if you've got that covered, if your nutrition is decent, and again, it doesn't actually need to be perfect.
No.
Like, we should all be striving for better.
Yeah.
But there is no perfect diet. There's no perfect nutrition. It will depend on the person and also what you're able to sort of afford, manage, how much free time you've got. I think most people are not like malnutrition, there's not a lot of malnutrition in Australia. No. So in terms of at least getting enough food,
you're probably fine.
You're probably doing enough to be acceptable when you compare it to the importance of sleep. But what else is there?
And when we talk about muscle recovery, you've obviously got people, soreness and like how you get, saunas. I said saunas. I thought that's what you said, but you said sauna.
Sauna,
Yeah, so there's different types of saunas, ice baths, contrast therapy, compression therapy, massage fits into that category too. Stretching, foam rolling, like self-massage. All those things probably make the 1% differences if you're getting sleep good, if you're able to have good nutrition. And they can be part of assisting recovery, but I wouldn't say that people should rely on those things. I think,
especially not before trying to fix the other two.
Spend your time getting your sleep right. Spend your time getting your nutrition right.
Yeah.
And all those other
things are more like a supplementary to those two things.
And it might be that, like, let's say from muscle soreness, like working out a muscle might take 2 to 3 days
to recover
through the body's processes of recovery.
Yep.
And by doing those little 1%ers, you maybe, recovered maybe 4 hours quicker or something like that. But it's still going to take 2 days, it's not...
No.
And again, like...
So what about rest days? How many rest days do you think?
How many rest days do people need between muscle groups?
Yeah.
It's a context-dependent answer, I think. What are you aiming to achieve from your training? Is it a performance goal?
Yeah.
Is it a hypertrophy goal? General strength? Those things change the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I would say for performance benefits, you want to look at how much else the athlete's doing outside of their gym training.
Like the knee and stuff.
Yeah, because what the bigger risk for those guys is, like, are we increasing the total load of their week so much so that we're increasing the rate of potential risk of injury during either other training sessions or during their performance? And then then we like probably better to have more rest days than not, right? Or
Well, they're not rest days really,
They're not
are
rest
they?
days.
Because
They
they're
have
doing
active
other
recovery
things.
days.
They're
Yeah.
actually doing stuff on
Yeah.
those days still.
Yeah. So there's more of an importance placed on it there. There's less of an importance for general strength.
Yeah.
Like, even soreness isn't a good gauge of like when you're ready to go again. You can be slightly sore and be able to still train.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you're
Yeah.
training different body parts, then
Yeah,
there's
if
no
you can manage
requirement
different-
for you to
yeah.
rest on those
No.
particular
No.
things.
what's the ideal amount of training sessions in a week, I guess?
Ideal is, again, very subjective.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about ideal, it's about what you can actually manage.
What you can manage, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
ideally...
4 is the sweet spot that I like to tell
think
people.
so, yeah.
Yeah. 4 training sessions gives you 2 days during the week that you can place your recovery. 3?
3.
Did my maths wrong
yeah.
then? Yeah.
I was like, what?
And then one of those days you could do something that's not gym related as activity as well, like go for a hike or go for a run.
Go for a
That-
ride.
Go for a ride. All
And
those
that
things.
is-
Jump in
and
the pool,
that is
go for
what-
a swim.
Again, recovery should be,
Yeah.
is not just lying in bed,
No,
right? It's not
recovery
sitting
doesn't
on the
mean
couch
complete
all
rest.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recovery should include still getting some walking in,
Yeah.
getting your steps,
Yeah.
because that will help.
That will speed up your recovery a bit more.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's go for the next question. You didn't fold these, mats.
No, I didn't fold them.
Yeah, you should have folded them so we couldn't see. What should I do
Couldn't see our views,
/
but-
should I train whilst being injured? I like this one. This is a good question. Thanks, Amy W from Narrow Warren for that question.
Oh, I know her.
Okay.
We actually do know Amy W.
Really?
Used to be a PT at
Oh,
Good
yeah.
Life, yeah.
Yeah,
I randomly said that, but I just realised that I connected the 2 dots. What should you do? Yeah, if you're injured, depends what your injury is and if it affects being able to train other body parts that aren't injured. Movement, depending on the severity of the injury as well, like movement tends to be better for the injury as long as you can manage the pain scale to be. I like to guide people towards like if it's hurting like 4 out of 10 or less, then we're sort of
Move
on the
through
right
it.
track through movement, and we're not aggravating it further. So use stimulus to guide what happens after the stimulus. So let's just say you have a sore shoulder, do a bunch of exercises. Is the shoulder pulling up significantly more sore? That's a bad thing. Then just dial back the intensity even more. I think the key messaging here is that you can train around most injuries and you should train around most injuries because keeping yourself moving is, again, in the recovery piece, it's more important to keep yourself moving.
Yeah.
Then just
And
to stop everything altogether.
that'll get you better and feeling better sooner than if
Quicker,
you were to do
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's always something you can do. I think something I mentioned this morning to someone even is that as far as controlled environments where we can apply stimulus, like the gym is one of the most controlled environments we can.
Yeah.
Right? So like especially if you've got a coach with you, like we can guide you through some movements that we know are going to be relatively safe for you, and we can progress them, on the fly based on how you respond to it as well. Whereas if you were to just go out and do your own thing and potentially make it worse I think the key is to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yes,
the main
I think
messaging.
even if the injury is past the point of a fall,
Yeah.
you might not be lifting weights with that injury, but that doesn't mean that you can't
shouldn't
be
be.
doing some stretching in the gym or doing
Rehab
some sort of
exercises,
rehab
yeah.
or rehab exercise, I should say. That is still always better than, again, I think what was and what a lot of people still think to be true, which was the
bed rest.
outdated,
Yeah.
the outdated recommendations. I think they stopped giving in the 90s, but that's
I
still
think still GPs give that. I still hear that.
which is
My
so,
doctor told me to do nothing. My doctor told me not to go to the gym till it gets better or till
What
it
did
feels
you
better.
do?
Not personally me, but I've heard clients say it.
Oh right,
I've
yeah.
heard
right.
clients say it to us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's like, oh no, I can't come back till this,
Yeah.
Are they
like
just
gets
saying
better.
that?
Which is them not being up to date with
Yeah.
what their actual medical association is actually recommending these days.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Well-
recommendation has changed. So you get an old doctor who
Yeah.
doesn't actually keep up with the current literature.
Yeah.
Then-
You get the leftover, the remnants of like the old school style of
Yeah.
GP,
But
right?
you think about people that have just come out of like surgeries, like it's prominent for me at the moment, being that my mum just had a hip replacement. Like 2-3 days out of surgery, and they're like, cool, we're straight into like rehab exercises. Like she can barely even get herself in and out of bed, but they're pushing her to do like so many exercises every single day.
Yeah.
To the point where she's like quite sore from it, like very sore from it. But like they encourage that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All specialists that deal with human body, they're not telling you to rest.
Do complete rest.
They're telling you, in fact, like when you've just done the injury, like, all right, let's start the prehab before the surgery.
Yeah.
Let's start you doing stuff before the surgery, and then let's do stuff straight away after.
We're getting some exposure of this now because in elite sport, like you see the physios out there quickly assessing what's going on field and getting them to move straight away. Yeah. So I think the more people can connect with that, the better. And I reckon we should just get rid of these doctors that are outdated.
Yeah, I know.
Just bin
It
them.
should be like an expiry if they haven't like retrained or something. You know?
I think there is. Like,
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to, but they just
They
like
never do.
who's policing it?
Yeah, who's monitoring that?
They probably are policing it. We just
Probably
have
are.
we have no idea. I wish.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff.
If you're a GP and you're watching and you feel like you're being
Are
attacked,
they
let us know
monitoring
in the
this?
comments.
Yeah. All right, next one is, which trending diet would you best recommend?
Now, I don't keep up with the trending diets.
Neither.
But
They seem to always be the same.
You seem to keep
I
up with
keep up with
everything
the
else
trendy
that's
memes.
trending
Yeah,
stuff.
the trendy
Tell us
memes.
about your most recent trend that Maddie and I had no
It's
idea
not even
existed.
that recent. I've known about this for a long, long time.
What is it?
Mewing.
And they're saying
Mewing.
that your mindful and demure is too late.
Yeah.
It is because okay.
yours
if
is
you go
like
back, if you go back into our comments on a post that we posted like a month ago, I put very demure in the comment section then. Yeah. So I was up to
So
date. with it.
everyone copied you, the whole world, pretty much.
No. I just got on it early.
Corey is the trend.
Yeah. The amount of ideas that I've had to shut down of Sachin's Insta content because it's like too late. It's too late.
Or either my thought process is just very different from everyone else's. I'm not thinking on the same wavelength.
Anyways, getting back to the diets.
Diets. I don't think they change, right?
No.
I think for the most part, most of the diet trends or like
I think we say
fad
trending
diets,
because we don't want to say fad, but that's like what
they tend to stay the same, and let's list them off if you guys can think of any, jump in. But you've got keto, probably one of the most
which is low carb.
diety. Yeah, very, very low carb. So, trying to get into a state of ketosis where, you're probably consuming less than 30 grams of carbs a day. Probably even lower than that. Carnivore, which is just consuming meats.
So that would be high protein, but it's actually not just high protein. It's like
high fat as well as a result
it's just high meat. Yeah,
high cholesterol.
Low everything else.
Yeah. There's obviously vegan diets. I know this is a lifestyle choice for some people, so people are going to get hurt. That we call it fad, but they were definitely a fad for a while.
Oh yeah.
Vegan diets were definitely a fad for a while. If you're still doing it, probably not a fad anymore for you. It's probably just who you are now.
Yeah.
Going vegetarian if you don't go vegan. What else do we have? Atkins diet.
What's that?
I think that was a no grain diet.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So pre-industrial revolution diet. I think that was the main thing. Actually don't know if the two are connected. I'm just talking shit now, I think. What other diets do we have?
That's probably
That's
most
probably
of them.
Yeah.
That's probably most. What would you guys say, out of all of them, what would you recommend? What would your advice be for someone who wants to try it? Let's say you have to pick one.
Oh, it would be low carb, but I wouldn't go as far as keto.
Keto, yeah.
I would say it's like a little bit higher in terms of carb than keto.
Yeah, I'd be the same.
Yeah, probably the same. But I would also say that, like, do what works for you. As in, like...
You said if we have to pick one.
If you have to pick one. Yeah, just to get an answer, or else you'd just be, like, going back and forth in this forever.
Yeah.
But, I think it's important to understand it. Like, lots of people do a fad diet, and it becomes their, like, complete diet protocol for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But don't get so attached to it as if it's a religion to not register that when it's going wrong, if it goes wrong,
badly,
if it's in some way negatively affecting your health, don't be so attached to it as to the point that you can't let go of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you're constantly sick, or if you do your blood work and like something is definitely wrong, or you have gastrointestinal like discomfort all the time,
Yeah.
like something's going on. You need to change diet, or you know, like it could be a diet, right? So like, don't be so attached to it as to not be pliable to change to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can fit in. Like doing a fad diet can fit in, right? It might give you a short term buy-in to health, which is like doing something to better yourself.
It's for like a period of time.
Yeah.
I think.
And then, you know, like make sure whatever you do, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, instead of doing 2 steps forward and taking 3 steps back. When it comes to what your goal is, for most people, let's face it, it's weight loss. If you do a fad diet, you take 2 steps forward and you come off the diet, because inevitably you'll come off the diet, and you only take 1 step back. Let's just say you lost 10 kilos, you gain 5 again. You're still 5 kilos lighter. Yeah. So it's still a good thing.
Yeah, but I guess also understand that like a low carb diet only works if you're actually cutting back on your total food consumption, right? Because I think that's generally pretty easy to do on a low carb diet, because when you cut out that whole food group, it is much harder for you to eat in excess. Yeah. Because there's just not that many choices, right? Yeah. However, like you could do it. Like there's a way you could do it. Like you could all of a sudden just go from like a low carb diet to like a really like getting a heap more protein and a heap more fat. And then particularly with if you're eating a heap more fat content, like it's also very easy to overeat even though you're technically still low carb.
Yeah. I think the way all the diets work as far as creating a weight loss result, for the most part, and you'd say like for the most part being like almost 99% of the things that work, is because they've created a calorie deficit. Yeah. So don't get too attached to the idea of one diet working and the only way that you can create that result in the future is by going back on that diet.
And also, don't give up on a diet unless you've got all those issues we spoke about earlier. Don't give up on a diet after like 3 weeks, because that initial week or two of a low carb, that initial week or two of a low carb diet, you're going to get artificial results that are going to be really, like you're going to feel great about that, right? But then by week 3, all of a sudden the progress will plateau. And that was never real weight loss in the first place, majority of it. It was just like water loss from the body. The
distinguishing factor being like fat loss versus weight loss, right? Like I think for the most part, most people's goals are around fat loss, but what tends to happen when you change or drastically change your diet or drastically start eating better is the initial phase isn't fat loss, or some of it isn't fat loss, and a big portion of that could be just water weight that you lose.
So you do have to stick it out past those few weeks, and you stick with that diet, because you'll notice first week like, oh cool, I lost 2 kilos. It wasn't real. No. It was mostly water loss. And then that water loss will stay away, and then the actual grind, the changes will start happening in a more linear, gradual rate. But if you just go, like the first week it worked and it didn't work after 2 weeks, I'm done. Then you didn't give it an actual chance. No. To work.
We kind of have this happen with our clients when we do our coaching with them. Their Monday weigh-ins, if they had a weekend where they didn't eat on diet, is heavier, obviously. Not because between Friday and Monday they gained fat. They might have gained a little bit, but really it's the fact that if their diet is strict enough from Monday to Friday during the weekdays, that their sodium content from their diet is lower, and then they have takeaway, they have food they wouldn't normally eat, they have more processed food over the weekend, and they wonder why they've weighed in a kilo heavier on Monday. Most likely it's just water weight, because your sodium increased. How much? Is it glycogen? No.
Yeah, like how much? Yeah, water. Glycogen. How much water
you're holding in your intramuscular? Yeah. Which is not fat. And the people like.
And then if you go back to that diet that you were doing, and then weigh yourself again in like 4 days, you'll probably find that
you're back.
Dial back again.
Yeah. And I think that's why, like, I like to get people to do multiple weigh-ins a week. Yeah. If they can detach the emotional side of it, like, unless some people get really attached emotionally to the number on the scale, and like it's a whole other thing when it comes to psychology of weight loss. But if they can detach themselves, I let them do two weigh-ins a week because they get a reference point on like Tuesday and they can get a reference point on Friday.
Yeah. I think
And then
that's
we
it.
can level them out and get averages for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm psychotic. When I'm doing a weight loss phase for me, when I'm focusing
I'm
on
weighing
it,
every day.
I weigh every day.
Yeah, I'm
weigh every
weighing at
day
the
in the
moment every
morning,
day.
and then I just look at the average.
Especially for women, like hormones play such a massive part
Yeah.
in like coming off your cycle.
It is valuable to learn.
Yeah,
right?
it's so interesting to see how you weigh. Like I'm already up like 3 kilos
Yeah.
to like normally, and I'm dieting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, there's something going on.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just interesting.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
I feel.
Oh wow, how many are we going through? All of them.
No, I probably won't have all the time for all of them.
No, let's go one more. I reckon.
Alright, final
Last one.
question.
Final question.
How do you stay motivated,
Oh, this is a good one.
and when do you train?
Yeah.
That's one for us.
This is one for us as coaches. Who was
Who
this
wrote
question
that?
by?
That's Shirley. She's actually from Tennessee, so we've got some international.
Oh,
guests.
international.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hi guys
As a
from
family.
Tennessee. I hope you understand our accent.
Oh God.
How do you know Shirley?
We used to play pickleball together.
Gilfs.com.
You know what? I'd only ever heard of pickleball today.
Really?
It came up on my Instagram.
Yeah, it's definitely trendy at the moment. All the rich celebrities play it.
Yeah. That's why it came up.
I actually had a tournament with Shirley in a few months for pickleball.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what did answer your
Oh, what was the
question?
question?
How do you stay
How do you stay
motivated?
yeah.
And when do you train?
Yeah.
Me, I don't know. I think that what I do personally to stay motivated. Are we talking about training or are we talking about general?
No, I think training
training.
related, and I think training.
I think you
Yeah.
have to find as many things that you enjoy about training, or create as many things you can enjoy about training as possible, right? So, for me, there's always phases where I'm not super enthralled with training. Like I might not be, going through a really enjoying phase of training, whether it be like strength gain or muscle gain. It's sort of just a boring, plateau-y sort of phase.
Yep.
But then what I'm looking for in those phases is like, look, what can I enjoy about this workout? Like for me, it's like my music. So I've always invested in like good headphones, and I pick songs that I
Enjoy.
like to work out
Yeah.
to. So that's exciting for me. And then
What's your current pick for headphones?
I've got the AirPod Pros,
The newest.
the
They have
version
the little
2.
gel cap on them.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Can't
What?
do gel.
disgusting.
Do they?
You don't like
I don't know.
suction in
I'm
your
asking
ear.
you.
No,
if yours
I
have
don't
them.
have those.
Oh.
No. I just whatever the
Yeah, the gel,
The
like the ones
thought-
that.
you're not,
It's not
the
gel,
ones
it's
that
just
squeeze
silicone.
and
Yeah, that
slowly
one.
come back. No, not them.
No, silicon. They have silicon caps on the end.
I think you're talking about the foamy ones that sort of mold
No.
to your ear over time.
No, I'm just talking
You're
about.
talking about silicon ones.
Yeah.
You don't like silicon ones.
Oh. Before that, I had my Sony XM4s,
Yeah.
which are an over-ear headphone, and I love them, but I'd get really hot ears, and it was just super uncomfortable when I was doing sets because I get like a hot head. And
You know
then,
what I
like,
used to get all the time that I hated? I had over ears as well. I had Bose. I can't remember what they were.
Oh,
The Quiet
yeah,
Comforts?
Bose,
Quiet
whatever.
Comfort.
Yeah, they were good.
Q35s maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. QC35. I think
You're
it was.
just pulling these letters and numbers out of your
No,
ass,
it was
aren't you?
Quiet Comfort 35. Yeah,
They are the
that was
35.
yeah.
I know. My
But
headphones.
when I took pre-workout and I would get beta alanine
Oh, itchy
Yeah.
ears.
itchiness, that was the worst between your head, like
Yeah.
touching your ears, and it's like not fun.
You're just
Or-
sitting there lifting your head.
Yeah, no. It was
Sometimes
uncomfortable.
when you'd have a headphone on and then you like get the dumbbells up to like lie
Oh,
down
then
on
they
the bench
fly
and then
off.
they just slowly slip off your head.
That's
And
the
you're like,
worst. Or like
So,
when
yeah.
I'm going down and they go like this because they're always too big for my head.
ah,
Yeah.
right.
So then they just start
You've got a
slipping.
tiny head, don't you?
And like no hats for me. I have to
Bailey,
buy
do a
kids'
zoom
hats.
in on your head.
Zoom in on Maddie's head.
No,
so
it'll
you
look fucking huge now. Anyways,
So yeah, for me, I go with I do it because it's an hour or 45 to an hour of my day where I get to just listen to some music, which I do enjoy.
yeah.
The second thing being, well, if it's not that, then I am looking for like the reward of like seeing the weights go up over time. If it's not that, then I'll find something else. I guess I think what we think is a good thing about our gym is that if you're not enjoying your training, you can still come for the social aspect, right?
Yeah,
Like for a
yeah.
lot of people, it's the social side
Yeah.
of things as well,
Yeah.
like getting to chat with a couple of people around you, seeing people you train with on a regular basis, catching up on all the drama at work and all that stuff is a good outlet as well.
Yeah.
Mads, or Satchin, while Mads is drinking.
I think like when I'm most motivated, I'm very goal focused. So like if I have a clear goal that I'm working around, and sometimes they're like absolute stretch goals. Like my current goal is around being able to dunk a basketball at a full-sized ring, which is ridiculous for someone my height. And it's a dumb goal, but it gives me something to plan around. It gives me something to train around. I might not ever get there, and I'm also okay with that. But it's something to focus on.
I've seen you jump.
I can touch the ring now.
I don't think he's okay with never getting that. I reckon you
He's
go.
so not
I
okay
reckon you
with
go
it.
down the
You
leg
see
lengthening.
straight away, he's like, no, I can touch the ring.
I
Nice.
reckon you.
I get constantly bullied at work.
If you don't get it in the next 2 years,
Put the lifeline number down here somewhere, please.
if you don't get it in the next 2 years, I think you should consider the
Stretching.
femur.
Yeah,
femur surgery.
honestly.
Lengthening surgery.
Yeah.
Laurie, thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's one thing that motivates me.
Femur surgery.
Femur surgery. Avoiding femur surgery motivates me.
If you're, it's probably about 10 grand. It's probably similar to like a.
Wait, this is an
boob
actual
job.
thing.
It's probably similar to a boob job, I reckon.
Yeah.
In terms of like, you get
Honestly, just
a
get a
certain
boob
point in your
job.
life and you're either
I might-
considering
I
that or
might
you're
do that.
considering leg lengthening surgery. It's one or the other.
What else motivates me?
Come on. I'm actually crying. Oh my gosh.
It's something Corey would do, though, you know?
Yeah.
Mr. 6'7" over here. Why would I get it?
Yeah.
Watch him brag about his height now.
That's
He's
because
got-
you've already
he's
had it done,
got-
haven't you? That's
Yeah,
why.
Yeah. It's why he knows all the details.
Yeah.
Only 10 grand. So that's the way you said it,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Only
Like you've had it
that
done.
year in COVID, like I was just
stretched.
why not then? Why not do it? You know, like no one's gonna see me. All of a sudden, I'm just bang.
Oh, stretched.
Boom.
Oh my god. I'm
Updated his
dying.
dating profile app.
Every month, I just add a
6'2".
new. Yeah, look, it's still working.
Yeah.
Anyway, I probably won't live past 40 because it's
Yeah.
really bad for my hips, but
Yeah.
worth it.
I think I'm just going to leave it there for me. That's my motivating
Oh my
factor.
God.
I reckon goal focused is, and I think
Yeah.
for a lot of people it is.
Yeah.
Goal focused.
Yeah, but write it down.
I'm the same. Like,
I might get it tattooed on me. It's like, that's how serious I'm about, you know, I just might put the words, like maybe just the Air Jordan logo.
oh my god.
People know when they're
When
seeing
you reckon, like,
it
let's
done.
say you learnt how to dunk, like
Yeah.
you gained the skill of dunking.
Yeah.
How many years do you reckon you could keep that for before
Yeah, because
you go
you're
backwards?
diminishing, yeah. Yeah. That's the shit thing about something like dunking. It's like you need a lot of explosive power, but that type 2 muscle fibers that you require. Is it type 2s?
You should probably start laying off the hot showers now. 'cause
Yeah,
it
it's probably
makes you
type
shrink.
2X, yeah.
They make you shrink. Hot showers make you
Yeah,
shrink.
my nan used to tell me that hot
Your
showers
nan,
should make.
okay.
Because she would always
And
get
how
smaller
tall
as she
was
got
your
older.
nan?
How tall's your nan?
Yeah.
Probably about the
Yeah,
same.
exactly.
Yeah. And she was giving other people advice about height.
Yeah. Hot showers.
Nan, no surgery if you want it.
She's not here anymore.
Oh, sorry, Nan.
Oh, no.
I was just gonna let you go, but I'm like, it's more funny.
It is more funny that Nan's not here. You evil human.
That's a while back. It's fine. Oh my gosh. I'm
yeah,
done.
she's definitely not getting a 6 foot now.
At least you would have saved money on the castle, though. He was short.
No, I can't. Oh my god.
What motivates you, Mads?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, literally nothing.
No, you've trained harder than most.
Yeah, I
in
feel
the-
like out of the three of us,
Oh
you've probably
my
trained
God.
the hardest.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just like, I don't get motivated to train, and like I have to have something that I'm like
Focused
focused on
yeah.
achieving. Yeah, otherwise it just like, I'm like, well, what am I doing this for?
But you know what? I reckon something that as a PT myself and having done it in the past, and I see you do it now, is that when you film your workouts, like in a way you're sort of that in itself is you trying to keep yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by
That's
sharing
how
it
I do it
publicly,
as
you
well.
actually make other people accountable to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they
Well,
see
when
your
I
videos,
see people working out, I'm like, "Fuck, I need to go train.
I literally messaged
Yeah.
you this yesterday.
And then I made you train.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't say you made me train.
No, I didn't.
You gave me an opportunity to train and I took it.
so that's a strategy, and I think we've got a bunch of tripods set up for this, but I think
Yeah.
if it helps some people to train, if they just go, hey, just set up
Share
your
it
phone,
socially, yeah.
set up your phone, put your
Yeah.
set up a tripod with your phone in it, and film a few of your exercises. Keep them to yourself, or
I think
share
posting
them.
it. I think posting it does make a difference. I think that's an important part of it. Yeah, definitely helps me.
Yeah.
And I guess then it's like, well, there are, in a way, it's good that you can actually control who sees that as well, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that you're posting it publicly on Instagram, but
Close friends.
You can post it as a story, and you can choose who gets to see that, and then you can just choose small group of people that you want to see it.
Yeah.
And again, it's about accountability.
Yeah. Are you in any close friends that you're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Because that's like sometimes I'm like added to someone's close friends and I'm like, did you
Right.
did you add everyone?
Yeah.
Why am I
And,
in
like,
this?
You have to really
I'm not
think
that close.
about who you're adding.
I'm not
to
that close
so
with
I
you.
find that kind of weird,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Like I don't have a close friend story.
I don't
But-
know either. But I don't post on my story.
Yeah, I find that weird that you don't post any story. By the way,
What should I be posting?
I don't know, just anything.
Yeah, like you would think that you never work out.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You want me to post workout stuff?
Yep. You're a trainer. I think
Yeah, you should.
it's part of.
practice
It's
with-
part of. Well, yeah.
All right.
That's your goal for the week, Corey. Post a story.
Yeah,
Done.
post it
All right,
workout.
let's go work.
You know, you've actually probably not posted in so long in your story that everyone will get notified that you posted.
Yeah, and you'll get.
You know what's so odd, right? Like, how do I still have so many followers on my personal Instagram?
How many do you have?
Like 1,400.
Weird flex.
But I don't understand it, because, like...
No one's unfollowing though. Like if those 1,400 actually know you for the most part.
No, I
don't
used to
think
have
1,400 people.
I used to have 1,200 followers, and I got rid of them all because it was really.
You got rid of them.
Yeah,
What do you
I
mean?
removed them all because.
No,
I,
you started your new Instagram. It doesn't
No, no,
count.
no, no. On my old one, Checkmate is only on like 300 now because.
People following you.
Is this the account that you
Yes.
were selling Taylor Swift tickets?
No, listen, because I was sitting at work one day going through my followers thinking, who the fuck is still watching my stuff? And sometimes you post like personal shit on there, right?
And these
I'm
people
like,
see it.
This is like people that I went like year 6 and they live in like another state and they're still watching my stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it kind of freaked me out one day, so I just went through and removed everyone.
You don't want to know what your friend from...
Yeah, Katie.
Who is up
Katie
to
from
these
year
days?
6.
No.
No.
No, I think I
Okay.
have... I
Yeah, fuck Katie.
yeah, no, she's actually pretty...
Yeah, no. No one likes Katie.
She had a question in there, but we're not going to read
I think our camera's actually not even recording anymore.
I just
You ran out of space.
Are you kidding? Oh